Hello again, everyone. It's my time. Today, I present a little bit about our SOPP platform inside of the summit and about new technologies for the mine design, something new that we are delivering to the market. I will start with the summit one probability to achieve certain economic outcomes. And to talk about this subject, I'd like to first just ask if who here has already used our studio, our NPVS, and who knows about NPVS? Who here have already used our NPVS schedule? One, two, three. So it's interesting because we have this solution for more than 10 years and it's really used in South America and in other regions of the world. But here in Australia is not well used. We don't have a really huge market share. And but why I would like to start talking about our Studio NPVS, our NPV shadow, because we have recently changed our NPV shadow for the Studio NPVS. What is this tool? This is a pit optimization tool, and this is Studio NPVS. It combines the pit optimization tool with a normal mine, a general mining package software. So you can run all your optimization, generate your pushbacks, and run some life of mine shadowing, and at the same time use all your CAD tools to generate wireframes, to inquire block model, to create sections, and to create any report that's necessary. So you can do both in the same solution. You don't need to swap between solutions. And why this is important for my presentation? Because once the user has the Studio NPVS license, he can access our Summit platform. What is our Summit platform? The Summit platform is a web-based platform to deliver data mine next generation geological modeling and the mine planning solutions. We have in our web platform the strategic open pit planning, the resource estimation, the underground stope optimization, and the geological database report. I will talk about just the first one today, the SOPP. That is exactly the Studio NPVS that we have with just getting the pit optimization tools, but in the web base. What's the difference to have the the NPVS in the web base? In the web base, we can run different types of studies that we can have inside of the desktop. The desktop, we can generate some studies going through the model definitions, importing the files, defining the economic models in terms of price, cost, and any other parameters that you need for your optimization. In the ultimate pit, we can define the slope angles and how we will consider the revenue factor and the other parameters to then get our Lash-Grossman pits and define what will be our ultimate pit. However, inside of the Summit platform, we have some additional steps. We have the sensitive analysis and we have the Monte Carlo simulation. That is the main subject of my presentation today. This is our Summit platform. This is a web browser that we can go through the Datamine website, the Summit, and you can put your credential. And from that, you will upload your block model and your settings, and we will run the optimizations inside of our super processors and provide you back the results. So you don't need to have a good desktop computer, or you don't need to have a really good processor to run all of this study. You can just set up the settings and send to us, and we will give back you the results. Let's talk a little bit about the first topic, the new one side of the summit. That's the sensitive analysis. So normally in our pit optimization process, we can run the sensitive analysis and variate a little bit our our revenue factor by the price, by the mining cost, or by the profit. However, in the summit, you can define and change any other parameters that you have available for the optimization. So this it means like if you'd like to change your slope angle and see which one is your main parameter and the main drivers for your project, you can change these parameters inside of the Summit platform and see in our spider chart what will be the impact in terms of the NPV or in terms of any other main output as the ore tons or as the normal profit. So here, an example, we can analyze and see which one of these parameters has the huge impact. I can see here this blue one has a bigger impact than the others that has not this acute angle in the curve. Continuing the simulation that is available in the Summit, we have an option to run many pits in the cloud base and provide to the user a result and where the user can check the probability to achieve certain economic values. For example, if you like, instead of to use some discrete value for your price or for your cost, you can apply some probability, some distribution, and the software will run a Monte Carlo simulation to pick these inputs. And in this case, for example, we have run 300 pits, and from these 300 Lash growth optimizations, the software choose the inputs from your distribution, your probability distribution, and getting the final range of outputs. What's that? You can check from the output what's the probability for your NPV to get higher some specific value or lower than specific value. So in here, you can start to use the probability in your inputs and check the risk to achieve some specific amount of ore or some profit. So just if you're thinking about doing that in your computer, you might need to set up 300 different optimizations, and after that, get all these outputs and generate a report to analyze that and see how is your real risk for the pit. In this case here is just define the setup, and we will provide this interface where you can check and analyze what is the risk for the specific outcome. Explaining a little bit the sensitive analysis and the Monte Carlo simulation in this case. For example, here I have the base mining cost, the base metal price, the base slope angle, and the mill processing. So in this case, I can do a sensitive analysis fixing the base case for these three parameters and just varying the mining cost. So the software will run one optimization for each one of these setups, and will give us like a huge number of final pits where you can analyze that. This is the sensitive analysis, and the output that we can get from our web browser is the spider graphs, where you can see like what will the impact for these variables in our net value, for example, what will be the impact in the revenue, the processing cost, the ore mass, the recovery gold, the recovery copper here. So it's interesting that we can check that for some specific, for example, for the ore mass, the copper recovery adjustment is more important than, for example, for the net value. That which one is driven here is the gold price. Simulation analysis. Instead of define some fixed values for the mining cost, mill, and others, we can just define a probability distribution and assign for each one of these parameters. Then, with this probability, the software will create different scenarios, picking that and respecting that probability to, at the end, we need to have this curve respected, this curve respected, and this curve respected as the inputs. So the software will pick that, and doing the Monte Carlo simulation, they will provide us the output. In this output, we have this window that we can check and see and create our risks, our pit risks, and define the risk of our project. Here are the options that we can check in terms of net value, revenue, mining cost, or as well as the ore mass, and you can get the distribution, the end distribution of the results, and where we are accept to get that amount of ore mass. Or an example, this is on this output, we have the probability to achieve 90% of probability to achieve the recovered copper rather than this amount. So if we can see here, so we definitely will have 95 more than that, 70% more than 165, 50% on 167 and going. So you can define the percentile that you would like and check what will be the amount of copper that we will get according with the simulation. So it's up to you to define what will be the risk that you would like to accept and how you would like to treat this information and going ahead in your studies. So in this case here, we can check what the probability to go in lower and higher some specific value, the percentile, and we can vary that according with the parameters. In the first case was the copper, here is the NPV, and we can vary as well according with the ore tons if it's necessary. This is just a quick overview about our summit and how we can use the probabilities in the pit optimizations. And the next step, the next point of my presentation will be the new mine design technologies. Which one I would like to just talk a little bit about the mine design. And as we have seen from the AMC presentation, we have evolved a lot in the mine design space. In the old days, we need to design the pits using papers and using some old techniques. And then over the time, we have the computers, and with the computers and softwares, we start to design that using new tools. So as you can see here, this is the old picture from our Studio 3, I think so, yes, 3. And where I think that this was 10 years ago, how we were designing the pit, and you need to adjust every level, the strings, and going up and up and up. But the good point is, as we are evolving in the technologies, we can bring these new information for new tools for our benefit. And for example, as we have evolved for this type of computer, for what we have nowadays, and the software has evolved for that type of interface and tools for what we have nowadays, we now are evolving as well from touch screen and the different Microsoft Surface and all the types of technologies for use in our daily routines. And what I will present is just how we can use this new type of technology using the pen and the stylus to start to do mine designs. And when you are in some meetings with customers, or you are engaging with some stakeholders, and you need to create some quick drafts about where you like to create your whole road, or how you like to open your pushback. Sometimes you need to design in a paper, or just explain, go for that direction, go close to that infrastructure. But with this new technology, you can just do a quickly draft using our new auto node switch option in the Studio platform, that with the pen will help you to design that and to get this inside of the mine package. I will just stop my presentation now, and I will jump to the software. Great. Let me get the pen. This. So I have here a topography. We have included some features in our tool, which with your hands you can drag and drop the you can pan the screen. If you zoom in and zoom out as you do in your mobile phone, you can zoom in some specific region from your project, as well as we have in our, let's remove this from here, as well as if you like to rotate from some point, you can just click that and use your finger to rotate the topography. So you can zoom in and check, for example, in this case here, I would like to create a new whole road from that point here and go into the top. So what I can do, I can use the pen. I will create a new string from this point to the top. Just doing this quick draw, I can have my string here. I will just reduce a bit number of points, and using our new whole road tool, I can create a whole road from that point to there. So I just attach our whole road tool here, and I have more or less here my design. Let me rotate a bit. So as you can see, this is a whole road design. And I can start to edit there or move that. For example, if I like to move just a little bit, I can move my whole road, define the best point that I would like to have my whole road here, as well as I can move some points and start to create my whole road in a different way, or delete some points here. As soon as you are happy with that, you will see in the next versions of our Studio P, our whole road tool will create the solids and everything for you. I can press here. Let me just check if it's set up. Calculate the volume here. And the software will calculate for us the volume for this wireframe. So I know that these have this amount of cut, this amount of fill. I can generate the final outputs if it's required and just get the solids for this design. So what's the really advantage from this is just use the styles, use these new technologies, and during some meetings you can rapidly create some drafts and engage with the others. You don't need to go spend some time to create a project and return and trying to get some approvals, or just to maybe engage with other areas to see if what you are planning to design, what you are planning to do, is aligned with the main scope. So this is the key point, to use the stylus and the Microsoft Surface or other tablet device to run your design. As I've done this example for the whole road, we can use this type of technology as well for the AutoP design and AutoDump design, and this will facilitate a bit the life for the users. What is the difference to use this type of technology? What we create new inside of the software to use these styles? So we have new tools that we recognize when you are digitizing the string, and then you start to create points where you are going, and they will snap this point as well in the specific objects that you would like to snap. So it's a different technology to snapping and to design points using these methods. So that's it. That's my presentation. Any questions?
Oh, loud enough. That's pretty cool. I like it. It's cool. Is it possible? Are you getting to the point where I pick my start point, my end point, and then it works for the best path up up the side of that hill, you still got to draw a path.
You're saying about the whole road, yeah?
Yeah.
The whole road now is not optimizing your path. It's more interactive, and you create your path, and from this path you are able to edit and to adjust as the same concept of that you have in our AutoP design. So we are not trying to optimizing the design, optimizing that. We are just allowing you to have a good tool that you can create many scenarios fast. Any other question?
I have a question about the Summit software.
Yeah.
When it's generating the probability statistics and whatnot, is that based off like the revenue factor one picture, based on flexing those various parameters?
Yeah, it's based in your revenue factor one.
Yeah, and then when it's generating the MPP curves and percentiles,
yeah.
Is it applying a similar logic to say Google, where it does the best case or worst case? Or
yeah.
How does it determine that discounted?
That they just define, they just get for the simulation, they just get the revenue factor one. In the sensitive analysis, you can download all the parameterization bits from with all your revenue factors from 0 to 1 or more if you like. But for the simulation, you just get one per setup. So as you are running, we are changing that, they will just give you a final bit, and they will not analyzing the intermediated mesh cross bit, the nascent bit between the 0 and 1. So just the final.
I've got another one.
Yeah.
On Summit. So how secure is the data that I've uploaded? And do you give it back to me?
Yes, you can download back. So you can check that, can download back the data. Every user that has any PVS, student PVS license, he has an amount of hours and data that they can run in the Summit, free. And if you like to run more, you can purchase more additional data and additional hours. So when you run that, we have all this information. If you like, you can select which output you would like to download from the system, and then you download the zippet, this block model zippet, and you have that with all the flags that we normally have from our bit optimization side of the student PVS.